You're very welcome back to the beautiful city of Tallinn in Estonia, right in the Baltic Sea, for the final World Cleanup live show, everybody. How about that? We have been going for almost 24 hours tracking your progress and the amazing work you've been doing all over the world. Let's get an update on the numbers and what they've been like so far. Of course, we won't have the final numbers until much later. Heidi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Are you tired? Are you
No, absolutely
The
not.
energy is keeping
really
you going.
Fresh.
You haven't slept in 6 months, I've heard.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
Actually,
wow.
5 years.
5 years you haven't
Yeah.
slept. How do you look so good?
No.
Oh, no. What's the secret?
It's a secret. It's there is no secrets. It's yeah. So we have so much fun here.
The secret
Fun
is
and
not
nice
smoking.
people.
The
Yeah.
secret is not cigarettes. So we
Yes,
want an
numbers.
update. The numbers. What are the numbers looking like?
The numbers come here, cigarette buns. You have to see it. Look. Oh yes, we have cleaned with 145 countries. Postpone is 11. 2 have been cancelled, and 35 countries is what we have to call, but some of them probably are not doing as well.
Okay.
Some of them are doing. So we are continuing to call actually tomorrow too.
So the work will continue for another day or two, realistically.
Yeah.
And the two countries that cancelled, South Korea and Liberia, why was that?
So Corona is South
Corona.
Korea.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Liberia as well?
I think
Or is that
some
weather?
kind of yeah.
Okay, wow. But, I mean, that's an incredible amount. You would think that list would be a lot bigger, given what's happening in the world.
Yes, but that's why we had so flexible and really different kind of formats of work cleanup there as well. So you can make individual cleanup too.
Okay, fantastic. Well, we'll probably check in with you at the end of the show to see if there's any change in the numbers. Round of applause for Haiti, everyone.
For you.
Round of applauses later. Now, we are going to quickly keep checking in with countries because now we're heading to our friends in Mexico. How are things, Mexico?
Morning, everyone. I hope you are enjoying with the people who love the World Cleanup Day. No? Because when you love doing something, the people, those around you, evaluate and replicate. No? I'm Jose Roberto from Mexico. Yes.
Good morning to you. Thank you, Mexico, and making the World Cleanup Day happen there too. Tell us about your activities. How have you coped with the current situation, with the COVID pandemic and everything? What did you do in Mexico?
Okay, the pandemic is very difficult in Mexico because the people, are many people in Mexico. Maybe 117 millions of persons in all Republic. This is but the campaigns to World Cleanup Day are very good. Anyone who collects cigarettes in the country, we go to their home to collect it, avoid contagion of COVID. We go to their home, no? Together with our partners Ecofilter. They recycle cigarettes and create consumer products, no? This is the first campaigns for COVID. And the second, we have a call for digital clean through a filter in Instagram in augmented reality. And for where it tells you the action we must take to save the world in accordance with the UN pillars to counteract the environment crisis. No, this is the second campaign we do because the COVID. Okay.
You have been doing also like educational workshops and digital cleanups, like working on more on the digital platform when you can't actually go and gathering big groups because of the virus. Tell us the idea behind those.
Yes, and the thing, when the virus stay in Mexico, maybe late 1 month, no, 6 months to other parts of the world, and in this time, the COVID it's very toll, no, to the people. But we have other campaigns in Mexico to contrast this COVID. My English is it's
good. Don't worry. Don't worry about the language. The important thing is what you do. And
okay.
I wanted to ask about this like digital cleanups and what are those? Do you know anything about that?
See, we have many campaigns. So the other campaign, the example is we generate a recycling chains in schools and companies through their year to add impacts to the keeping planning. No, this is maybe in this moment we don't have do the brigades, the brigades, but we create a change to recycling in different centers. In many states, maybe in Guadalajara, Los Cabos. If you come in Mexico, I have the best tour. No? In Guadalajara, Los Cabos, in Morelos, we mobilize of people to motivate the collection. In these states, yes, we create a campaigns, but not in others. No, we have a live on Facebook with artists from around the world, scientists and environment experts who talks about saving the planet for the general public. No,
Thank you for everything, and let's hope that the good work continues, and we will see you next year on the next cleanup day, and maybe we have less restrictions then. So thank you,
Yeah.
and goodbye.
Thank you very much, and we're going to change the world. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much, Jose, there in Mexico for that great update. And we're going to continue on very quickly because we still have a few countries to check in with. And next, let's go to El Salvador.
I'm fine. I'm happy. This year it's a special edition for World Cleanup Day in El Salvador because we didn't make some cleanups, but we have great spaces to make our recycling materials. And currently now we have participants behind me and with these materials, and we have 5 points in our country to receive these materials.
That sounds really a great thing to do. A little bit innovation. Are you doing something differently? What will happen later with these materials? What are you hoping to achieve with this activity?
Yeah, we are working with some recycling companies, and the idea now it's the first step before the cleanups because we can make the prevention of these materials will be made waste, and now we can introduce to that circular economy.
So you want to get this like plastic, all the plastic out of the circulation before it.
Yes, we have in this edition we are working with 8 kinds of materials. We have 3 kinds of plastic. The number 1 is PET. The number 2 or 5 is polypropylene. Okay, we have the number 1 of plastic, the number 2, the number 5. We have aluminum and some paper, and we have in this case is oil.
Yes.
We have glasses and electronic devices. And then we have working too in campaigns to reforestation and make some plants for tree in natural protected areas for our country.
What would you say is the biggest problem in your country regarding waste? Is it the plastics, or is it just waste from the sea, or people not recycling enough?
Yes, we have 2 big problems in reality because in the last 20 years, the government have the restriction to make any kind of recycling process in general because has another contract with this specific landfill company. But now this contract is off, and now it's possible to make this kind of activities. And the second problem is every day in El Salvador we lose 400 tons of waste without any kind of solid waste management. So these 400 tons of materials are in general in the environment. So it's really hard to pick up and recover these materials. Now it's possible with this kind of species and with the collaboration with partners and with companies and another kind of partnerships to make this possible.
Thank you so much for that, Alexander Rivera there and in El Salvador. And apologies for some of the quality of the lines because, of course, we're doing this quickly and grabbing people when we can. So sometimes they're in areas where they don't have the best coverage. But we're going now to the USA. Two of my favorite people at the World Cleanup Day, Bill and Steve. They're two characters. They're in California, of course, a state that has been so badly impacted by the wildfires, some of the worst wildfires they have seen in decades, linking, of course, to global warming. So we checked in with Steve and Bill to find out how the cleaning has been going today.
Yes, we are doing cleanups even as we speak. We're doing micro cleanups and tailored cleanups as we speak.
All over the country.
From sea to shining sea.
So are we recording yet?
Tell me, what do you expect? How many participants will there be across the states?
We have no idea of knowing.
We have so many people and so many different individualized cleanups because for the most part, we don't have big groups, even groups of 25 and 50 are not being allowed.
They're not being allowed.
So pretty much everything is individualized cleanups. We do have Trash Tag, which is a internet phenomenon from last year, and also Plogging from Sweden.
So they're like, people are doing that. We have what's called micro cleanups where people are just going around their neighborhood or just going around their office space. We have companies, small companies that are doing it.
Big companies that are doing it.
But their offices in the big companies.
Right.
So they're tailored
And
cleanups.
so we also have the Girl Scouts. We have, I'm not sure what the number is now. It was about 5,000 Girl Scouts in the United States, in all 50 states, and 4 separate countries that signed up through the website.
But there's more than that.
That was like 5 days ago.
Yeah, but there's
So
more
probably-
than, yes, more than that because
Yeah.
not all of them signed up, so we don't know. So a lot of it we won't know until days after,
Months after.
months maybe. Yes, that's true.
What would you say? What is harder to organize? Is it like the big cleanups that we have been used to in earlier years, or these individual ones when you have to get like one person out?
Well, think about it. The large ones are easy. The individual ones
Right.
are individual, so there's more of them.
What our normal thing has always been to work with community partners. That's what our business model is and what we want to do with the local
Municipals.
nonprofits, municipalities, and so on. And that's keeping the communities clean in the small level where people actually do things.
Yeah. And so those are much easier to do because they go out and do them. When we're doing our individual ones, we go out and set them up. So much more difficult.
Right. Last year we had entire cities that were doing centralized cleanups with thousands of people, where they basically cleaned up every single street. They made a proclamation that said, "Here's a cleanup day for our city," and that of course comes up to National Cleanup Day and then to World Cleanup Day.
But now this time we can't do it because of COVID.
Right.
So what we did, rather than having other types of cleanups, we decided we'd help people do, because people still want to go out and clean up, and they've been inside for a very long period of time. So they want to, I'm free. So they get to go outside and
do things.
And it doesn't have to be, it could be their sidewalk in front of their house. We don't care. As long as they're out there cleaning up, because it's a mindset. It's getting your mind to thinking of cleaning up outdoors. That's what we want to do.
Thank you for still organizing it, putting your effort into it, and I believe there will be thousands of Americans going around jogging and picking up.
Oh, there are. They're out there.
We're aiming for more like millions, but we'll be lucky if we get 50 people.
Yes, you're Americans, you aim big. Thank
Exactly.
you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks again.
Have
I'll
a
see
nice
ya.
day. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
They're great. Thank you so much to Bill and Steve. And you didn't catch them there in all their glory. If you stay with them and you have an evening out, and if you have a few pints of Guinness with them, they're just the best fun ever. Two great characters. And what makes them really special is that their heart is 1000% in what they do. Not only are they involved in World Cleanup Day, but they do cleanups all year round across California and across the United States. So Bill and Steve, it's so great to have you on board with World Cleanup Day. And I'm looking forward to seeing what this partnership will do in years to come. Now, we're staying in the USA because speaking of partnerships, one of the biggest partnerships we have is with Earth Day. They have a huge network, we have a big network, and together we have become stronger. And the other day we spoke to Jake Rubenstein about what is so special about this partnership.
Where I am at the moment, I'm in San Diego, California, and it's a little eerie. The sun at times is like a bright red from the smoke in the air. Actually, weather conditions, my first time ever experiencing this, have been called smoky, not overcast, but smoky. There's actually fires taking place about 45 to 50 minutes to the east from us, but I'm seeing videos of people getting trapped in wildfires and having to be evacuated. And it's something that if that's not eye-opening, then I really don't know what is.
And it's great this year, this World Cleanup Day, that again, we're partnering with you guys there at Earth Day and the great global cleanup. So why do you think this partnership is important?
Well, this partnership is important not only because it brings aspects to our program that we might not be able to achieve without you guys. We really are grateful for the shift that we had to make and the passion and creativity shown from our partners at National Cleanup Day, Let's Do It World. I mean, this is a challenge that we've never seen before, and to be able to work with such passionate people who really, really want to do the best work they can, give people the resources and information they need, it makes our job just that much easier. And giving this global presence to this, what is a global issue, it can't just be done in America. It can't just be done in Estonia. It has to be done everywhere. And therefore, we have to partner with everyone we can and organize and really get boots on the ground to do this work. It's just invaluable.
Well, Jake, it's been great talking to you there in California, and you and your family stay safe as well.
Yeah, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Great talking to Jake there, and of course we started out by asking him how him and his family were and if they were safe in the area they were in California given the devastating wildfires that are ravaging through the forest at this present time. And just coincidentally, when I was talking to Bill and Steve earlier in the week about the fires, they said one of the biggest ones, which is broke out in California, they're only able to contain 1% of the fire, even with a huge amount of tackling force from the fire department. There in the state of California, only 1% is under control. The other 99% is taking its course. So it's devastating to see, and hopefully it will be a wake-up call in terms of global warming and environmental issues that need to be tackled right now. Another company that are really tackling environmental issues and recycling, they're called Plastic Bank. They work with companies to try and make them more efficient when it comes to reusing, reducing and recycling. And here is their story.
Sean Frankson is the co-founder of Plastic Bank, a social enterprise that makes plastic waste a currency to fight ocean plastic and poverty. So Sean, how exactly does Plastic Bank work?
Yeah, so the Plastic Bank, we set up ethically sourced recycling ecosystems, allow people to go out in their community, recycle, bring it to a plastic bank, deposit that value, and beyond just a market rate of recycling, they earn a special bonus, pensions, access to insurance, and really we make recycling a dignified way to get to a better life while we're using those products into social plastic recycling products.
So what kind of an impact does Plastic Bank have?
So at Plastic Bank, we've already recycled over 14 million kilos of plastic every month. About 1 million kilos of plastic or more goes through our systems. And we really take this regenerative approach where we don't just take from the communities. We try to build programs that actually make the communities better than they were. And again, where recycling can be the starting point to thrive.
The company is now more than 7 years old. What was the starting point like, and where are you now?
Yeah, so about 7 years ago, David Katz had the idea of, what if we could just reveal the value in plastic and make it too valuable to enter the ocean? And we really just started to look at how might we figure that out. The answers weren't easy, but look at how might we dignify it? How might we do it in a self-sustaining way? So, for a while it was just myself, David, and a rotating third person. Now 7 years later, we have a team of over 100 people. We're in Haiti, Philippines, Indonesia, Brazil, Egypt, just launching in Vietnam and Cameroon, and really building a structure that we can remove ourselves from being a bottleneck and really be exponential in the way that we grow, expand, and help people's lives.
So in your work, you have probably seen what kind of business solutions are currently lacking. Do you have any hints for future entrepreneurs who want to do something like you?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things we've had to learn, you almost got to get out of this mindset of looking, how has everything been done in the past? And really start to think, how might we do it right? How might we do it in, a social and ethical way, where purpose-based business truly is what should be business best practice going forward. And for us, the biggest lesson is it's not about what you can do today, who you are today. It's just about committing to become the person the world needs you to be. And once you go on that track of just becoming, everything becomes possible.
Thank you so much, Sean. And good luck with Plastic Bank and creating a better world.
Thank you. Great hearing about Plastic Bank. And now we're going to talk about something which I am really fascinated about. And it's something that I didn't realize before. Digital cleanup. So because of COVID this year, we haven't been able to mobilize as many people in various countries all around the world because of the restrictions on large gatherings, which is of course understandable because here at the World Cleanup Day, safety has always been the top priority and the health of everyone involved. So we were looking at doing things a little bit differently. So smaller communities, families, individual cleanups, even inner cleanups were done this year. But one thing that was different was a digital cleanup. Now, what's a digital cleanup? Deleting things from your computer and your phone and your cloud. Well, what difference does that have on the environment? Surely it has no difference. Well, that's where you would be wrong, and I didn't realize this either. Every time you save a photograph to Facebook, a WhatsApp, on any iCloud, anywhere where it's stored remotely, that photograph is not just lying in a cloud in outer space somewhere, it has been saved on a server somewhere. Now, these servers are huge that need constant air conditioning. They burn so much energy, and these servers for the internet and for Facebook and all these websites, they account for 3% of the world's CO2 emissions, which is more than the airline industry. So those saved files, those videos you uploaded to YouTube, those things you send on WhatsApp, the funny videos, the photographs, they account for more CO2 emissions than the airline industry all over the world. That is incredible. So the thinking behind a digital cleanup is that the more files you delete and disregard from your computer, your cloud, well, that will mean the less servers ultimately needed in the world and the less CO2 emissions that will be emitted. One of the biggest companies in the world is, of course, Siemens. And we spoke to Maria at Siemens about what they're doing for their digital cleanup.
Hi, hello, how are you?
I'm great. Siemens Gamesa is a renewable energy company which deals with lots of digital data. What kind of data can you delete with digital cleanup?
Okay, it is up to the employees because what we have done is to offer the employees this opportunity, explaining the benefits of these projects, and then we have put to them some examples, but it is open for any document in any devices, the computers and also the mobile devices.
How has the feedback been from the employees?
Good. It is our first time because of the situation of the COVID. We were not able to push physical activities worldwide. We still don't have the results as the project hasn't finished until Sunday. But we are very happy. We think this kind of initiatives motivate a lot our employees, and we have received some very good comments on this project. Let's see, but my feeling is that the feedback will be very good.
Why do you consider getting rid of digital waste is important?
Well, what is our main goal, and it is one of our main goals, is to keep our planet, to help against CO2 emissions, to have a better environment for all the society. And this project is totally aligned with this objective we have. So for us, it's a very good idea. And on the other hand, it brings the employees the opportunity to delete stuff and to have more space free in the devices and to be more efficient. And at the same time, for us, it's very important the volunteering programs, and this brings also the employees the opportunity to participate.
That sounds very great. So good luck with your first year of digital cleaning. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and good luck to all the organization. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Maria, there at the Siemens Group. Thank you for your cooperation and your participation in this year's World Cleanup Day. Now, let's stay with the same topic and subject, because we're going to find out now about digital bins. And to find out more, we're talking to Erik Pudist.
Hello.
So let's start off by why the garbage cans even need to be smart.
Imagine a garbage bin which is being used by approximately 60 people and which is collecting packaging waste. Now imagine that 55 of these people who are using it are doing it with a lot of knowledge and care, and they really make sure that they only put well-sorted packaging there. And then one of these people has no clue what this bin is meant for, and they just put some tomato juice there. Now it's important to know that packaging waste is useful only if it has been collected correctly and appropriately. Otherwise it cannot be used for anything, basically. So the key concept of a smart bin for us is first of all encouragement and then feedback. So we need to encourage people to sort their garbage correctly. And if there are errors, we need to make sure that we have a possibility to give them feedback so that the errors will not happen again.
How can a garbage can be smart?
Our concept is that the garbage bin opens with an app or with some kind of card. For instance, in Tallinn, we have the public transportation cards, which basically everyone has anyway.
And what are your plans for the future for the smart garbage cans?
This is only for the starting point for us. Our actual bigger plan is an app where you can actually track how your garbage is moving. There is a lot of not trusting the system. Like I throw my garbage away, but who knows what's going to be the future of it. Perhaps it won't be sorted at all. Perhaps it's just going to be burnt or whatever. And we want to make sure that if I give away a bottle, I can really track that on this date it went to this factory. On this date, the new bottle was produced. On this date, it was refilled with something new. On one hand, this creates the trust in the system, as well as it forces the participants of the system to make sure that everything is really done accurately and there is no room for not so clear things. This thing is actually already done with metal production because the same issues are very relevant there as well. And we want to bring these technologies to garbage as well.
Well, thank you, Erik Sven Pudist from Clevering, and good luck with your smart garbage cans.
Yep, and if someone can do it faster and better than we do, then please do it. We only rejoice. We just want this to be done. Whoever does it is good.
Sorry about that. We had some technical issues with that clip. We might be able to bring it to you later on, but you know what? Because this day has been so hectically busy with people recording Zoom calls and Skype calls and inserting them into the program, you'll get a glitch like that every now and then. But we might find out more about the digital bins shortly. But before that, this is a man that we spoke to a few days ago. Joseph Nazareth is his name, originally from India, but now living in Canada. And he works with a huge company who have been encouraging all their employees to rid their machines of their files. And here's a short recap of how it's been going for him.
To be very honest, it also caught me by surprise when I read up on the material and found out, the emissions from a single mail, and worse still, if you have attachments such as photos attached to the email, what the consequences are in terms of the environment. So this was an eye-opener, and it shows you there's so many ways we can really have a positive impact on the environment by deleting waste, deleting spam emails, by also thinking about how often or who do we put on emails, because even an unopened email has some CO2 emissions attached to it.
Of course, when people are watching this, they'll think the CO2 emission must be so minuscule from a single email. But I suppose when you're dealing with a company as large as yours, all those tiny little fraction of a percentage or whatever it is of CO2 emission, they will add up pretty quickly at a company your size.
Correct. And that's the same type of awareness we want to give to our within our organization, is that individual things add up, and together we can have a tremendous positive impact if we are aware of these things, how we reduce, emails, for example, or even consumption, so we reduce the waste. So these are the ways we need to think how individual efforts together add up to great initiatives.
So what does the company think about partnering for the first time with the World Cleanup Day?
Well, it's been great. As I mentioned, we were planning to support World Cleanup Day by actually getting people to go out and collect plastic pollution, and we're still encouraging our employees that we're in areas where it's safe, where it's there's not COVID-19 huge impacts with COVID-19, to go out. And we're giving them biocompostable bags to pick up the plastic waste and bring it back to us, and we will treat it in the proper manner. So, this is a great initiative. We've always addressed waste, and I think it's a great timing because we've also run our global environmental campaign in the same week as the World Cleanup Day.
How is everyone? Good? Yeah. Hey. We're going to come back to you in a second, don't you worry. But first we have to do some more digital cleaning up of this world. And we're going to talk to one huge telecommunications company. Jim, what are you laughing at? Let's find out how they approach the digital cleanup at Tela.
We are joined by Andra Visse from telecommunication company Telia and talking about digital waste. First of all, what is digital waste?
That's a very good question. Actually, there's no concrete definition of digital waste. And we have defined digital waste for ourselves as any digital data that is lying there unused in your different devices, in your different cloud environments, and simply, basically every spam, every email, every file that is unused for a certain time in period.
So how much impact does it have on the environment?
Yes, why it's important to deal with digital waste is that we see a trend that actually in the world it has been prognosed or forecasted that by the 2025 year, 25% of all the power consumption in the world will be by data centers. And this is due to the exponential growth of data actually in the world. So, and this, of course, again, is due to us having a lot of data that is being unused. So we should all bring our attention to this problem.
What can each of us around the world do to reduce the digital waste, and is it possible to actually eliminate completely?
I think it's never possible to eliminate completely, but what we all can do, we can regularly review the data that we have and review our different devices, for example our smartphones. Do we really need all these old pictures? And it is a kind of a common thing nowadays that when you make a picture, then you tend to take 10 different frames of the same scene and never delete those that you will not need or use. And actually all this consumes a lot of space in your phone memory, and usually this is uploaded to some sort of cloud environment as well. And this all consumes energy and actually has a negative impact on our environment.
Can you bring us a specific example of how much CO2 does it produce?
For example, an average Estonian user, when he or she uses the internet, browses the internet for 2 months, this equals to the same amount of CO2 produced as to fly in tourist class from Tallinn to Riga. So this is maybe to give a perspective to it.
2 years ago, Telia organized a digital cleanup day. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Actually, we have already organized 2 of those, and first time was a success. We were able to engage 70 of our partners to this activity as well, and over 6,000 participants. And we were able to actually clean up over 40,000 gigabytes of data, which is basically, let's say, 40,000 full HD movies that were deleted. And the second time we had it, we already had 140 companies participating, so twice as much. And we are now going to have another event in January 2021.
What do you think, how can we raise more awareness about digital waste all around the world?
I think it's events like these actually that already contribute to that, and I think we as a company feel the social responsibility in Estonia at least to raise everybody's attention to it. So it takes inspiring and showing what can we achieve all together.
How can other companies join with your campaign to reduce digital waste?
You can always reach out to us in all of our channels. We have a special website for this digital waste cleanup day as well. It's called koristuspäev.digitark.ee, where you can sign up and join us in the journey and promote this inside of your company and outside to your partners as well, in order for us to make a bigger impact together.
Andra Visse from the telecommunication company Telia, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, it is hard to believe. After almost 24 hours and 12 broadcasts here from our centre in government buildings, the town centre in the middle of Tallinn in Estonia, it's been a great day, hasn't it? Yes. Yes. We're still awake, aren't we? Yes. Some of us. And in previous years, this room was filled with people, or the studio that we were in, the call centre, because we had so many volunteers. We still do, but many of them working remotely, many of them working from separate places because of the restrictions of COVID. But what a gang we had here. Give yourself a round of applause, everybody. We had our friend from, of course, lots of people from Estonia, but a friend from Nigeria here. We had Jim from Liverpool. It's unfortunately, you know, Liverpool, it's a great place. Belgium in the house as well. Don't get too excited, Belgium, okay? Calm down. Calm down, Belgium. And where else? We got France in the house. Hello, France. Bonjour. Where were you from again? Chile. I'm warm, but thank you for asking. But it's an oldie but a goodie. But anyway, we've had a great day. Everyone getting to know each other. Everyone doing their tasks of calling, checking in with countries. And the two people who have been working on this tirelessly for months, Annalie, Heidi. Annalie, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling extremely tired, but extremely happy, really.
Really?
Yes.
I believe you. Just checking. What are you happiest about when you think back on all the countries, all the leaders around the world and what they've done today?
We have worked for this day entire year, and this is the culmination. But of course, this is not the end. This is the beginning of the journey towards the clean world. But to feel the emotions here in the call center, to feel the emotions around the world, to feel that we are the same on the planet, that we as humankind can tackle the waste problem. It's such a feeling which just doesn't fit to yourself. Yeah.
It gives you that energy. You don't know where it comes from.
This is extreme energy, and I'm really, really happy that I can serve this moment and be here.
So Hedy, pulling off a World Cleanup Day is never an easy task, but in a year of COVID, of a world in turmoil, a world of anxiety, a world where we have now new concerns and worries that we didn't even know existed before this, how are you feeling after it coming together today and seeing the results and the people?
I think it's amazing that people still have this kind of worry, of course, among many worries, also worry about the environment as such. And the power to come together even in really hard conditions when you have this kind of civic wars or conflicts, or you lost someone in your family or really nearby. So it's still something, I think coming together is really important for humans. And to have the values inside yourself and also to work for something big cause is also something which is really bringing us together. And I think World Cleanup Day is a really interesting movement in this sense, by bringing people values, souls, spirits together and making them stronger. This is what I believe, and I feel really fulfilled. And I think that all the leaders have been working for this year really hard, and they have been in many months in this kind of situation when we don't know what to expect or what happens next. And but we have been nurtured each other's this kind of knowledge and expectations, and also the trust and relying to each other's this kind of understandings that we can do it. We did it.
You did it. Round of applause, guys. Woo! You did it. And all the leaders all over the world who you've been seeing popping up and down on the screen throughout the day as well, they all did it in, like you said, exceptional circumstances sometimes. Like Lebanon went out after everything that happened in Beirut, Belarus as well. It's just really incredible. So the work will continue, even though we're going off air for the time being. They will still be correlating and counting numbers for the next couple of days to get the exact numbers for World Cleanup Day. You can't go to bed yet, Hedy. A couple of days I'm giving you. I'm about to head to bed, but you got to work for a few more days. But seriously, to all of you for watching, to all of our great crew, give our crew a round of applause as well, guys. Thank you so much. The guys out on the trucks. Woohoo! And the guys out in the broadcast van as well, talking in my ear. You all did a wonderful job. And to everyone here in Tallinn, Estonia, for hosting us in the government buildings here as well, to the Mayor, to the Prime Minister who visited us, and all the partners across the city. You couldn't do it without them. It's a team effort.
It's fantastic that we have our Mayor here and Prime Minister and a lot of fantastic people from this house. So it was...
The Prime Minister was even out picking up the trash. Did you see that? He was in his tight gym gear. It was great to see that, you know. It was fantastic. That is it. Thank you for watching. From all of us here in Tallinn, Estonia, it's a big smile and a big good night. And we're leaving you with the incredible dance. We have it from Mozambique.
Mozambique.
Check this out and we'll leave you with this. Good night, everyone.
Whoa.
Good night.
Jerusalema ikayalami ilondoloze uhambe nami zungangishilana Jerusalema ikayalami ilondoloze uhambe nami zungangishilana dawo yami ayikholana buso wami awukholana ilondoloze zuhambe nami dawo yami ayikholana buso wami dawo yami ayikholana buso wami awukholana ilondoloze zuhambe nami dawo yami ayikholana buso wami awukholana